Redskins injury-riddled secondary gets banged up, but doesn't break against 49ers. As Washington coach Jay Gruden ran through the list of injured players, a trend quickly emerged. A safety hurt his knee. So did a cornerback. Another corner injured his hamstring and a second safety hurt a shoulder. Gruden might as well have been doing roll call in the defensive backs meeting room. "Our whole secondary got hurt," veteran linebacker Zach Brown said later. And yet when the Redskins needed a stop most in Sunday's 26-24 win over San Francisco, the patched-up secondary, which featured just one regular starter on the field, came up big, stopping the 49ers' late threat and intercepting a pass that sealed the victory. How unlikely was the last-minute lineup? Injured starters Josh Norman and Deshazer Everett were in street clothes, ruled inactive before the game. Bashad Breeland, the other starting cornerback, was on the sidelines with a knee injury he suffered in the third, and cornerback Fabian Moreau had just tweaked his hamstring. Kendall Fuller usually lines up in the slot, but he was forced to the outside, a position he never practices, and rookie Joshua Holsey was called into the game for one of the final plays, the first defensive snap of his career coming when Sunday stakes could not have been higher. The Redskins led by all of 2 points and the 49ers, winless and desperate, had crossed midfield with less than 20 seconds to play. Redskins endure more injuries, but not a humiliating loss to 49ers. "Every snap in this league is important. That was just a little bit more intense than a regular snap," Holsey said of his first action at cornerback. "You just got to always be ready." The secondary tried to seal the edges and protect the first down marker. The result, San Francisco rookie quarterback C.J. Beathard closed the game with 4 straight incomplete passes. The final one came on 4th and 20 and was intercepted by Fuller at the Washington 32-yard line. The secondary wasn't perfect, allowing an unproven, 23-year-old quarterback to help lead the 49ers back into a game that should have been more lopsided. But Gruden seemed pleased with the play of his reserves. "I think they all stepped up," he said. "You're talking about not a lot of experience back there." Defensive backs coach Torian Gray might as well have had a revolving door on the sidelines Sunday, as all his young players were pressed into action. Even the ones who were still standing at the end missed at several plays due to injuries. Swearinger and Stephon McClure hurt their knees and Monty Nicholson injured his shoulder. No Kaepernick, smaller protests, but plenty of anthem opinions at Redskins game. Swearinger said he'd have an MRI on his MCL on Monday, and Moreau, McClure and Nicholson were hopeful that they'd be practicing this week. Nicholson's injury prompted the most grimaces, as his helmet popped off on what at first glance appeared to be a brutal helmet-to-helmet hit. But he said later that it was his shoulder that actually suffered the impact. "It was more shock," he said, "because my arm didn't look right, if you pick up on that. But I had to calm myself down until my trainer got there, told him to keep talking to me. I knew I would be all right." The unit felt Sunday's performances helped solidify their identity and reinforce their next man-up mentality. "We know the depth that we have in this secondary," Fuller said. "Everybody can come out there, everybody can make plays, everybody's smart. That's just how we got to do it as a group." Cornerback Quinton Dunbar impressed the most on Sunday, filling Norman's big shoes. Starting for the first time this year, he was aggressive all game, whether he was lined up against Pierre Garçon, who didn't have a catch until the final minute of the first half, or Marquise Goodwin, who finished the day with only 2 receptions. Redskins celebrate game-ending interception with pat down. "We expect no drop-off, man," Dunbar said of the rotating cast of defensive backs. "That's the standard we hold, everybody prepares like starters," Dunbar said. In the off-season, Swearinger nicknamed the secondary flight marshals, because he says they control the air. When Fuller came down with the interception that sealed the win, Swearinger quickly found his teammate on the field to celebrate. He patted Fuller down, spun him and simulated handcuffing his teammate. "He locked the game up at the end," Swearinger explained later, "so I had